As the woman was walking down the mountain, she suddenly ran into an invisible wall, like a glass barrier. Terrified, she turned around and tried to find another path. Soon, she spotted two elderly people by the side of the road. She rushed toward them, calling out, but again ran straight into the invisible wall blocking her way. Frantically, she pounded on the barrier, shouting for help. But no matter how loud she screamed, the people outside couldn't hear a thing. Just as she was about to give up in despair, she noticed something eerie. The old couple were completely still, like mannequins. Yet strangely, the water from a nearby faucet was still flowing. Panicking, she called for her dog and quickly left the area. From that day on, she checked every day to see if the invisible wall was still there. But even after 3 months, nothing had changed. Eventually, she went back to where she had seen the two old people. They were still standing there, in the exact same positions, with the same expressions frozen on their faces. That was the moment her mind started to unravel. Later, she got into her car, slammed the gas pedal down, and drove full speed straight toward the invisible wall. The impact crushed the front of the vehicle, and she was left with blood streaming down her face, but the wall was still there. At that point, she gave up on the idea of ever escaping. 5 years passed. She had grown used to life in the mountains. The sky was clearer here, and the air much fresher. But one day, she discovered an old map inside a rusted-out car, and with it, the desire to escape returned. The next morning, she followed the directions on the map to the other side of the mountain. There, near the edge of a cliff, stood a bizarre-looking tree. Hanging from its branches were more than a dozen tattered pieces of clothing. The strange sight made her pick up her pace. Using the map, she hiked across every mountain in the area. Eventually, she came to understand the full scope of the invisible wall. It was like a massive dome, enclosing hundreds of miles of mountain ranges. She could see villages beyond the barrier, but there was no way to reach them. Disappointed, she began the long walk back with her dog. Just then, the dog suddenly bolted forward, barking wildly. The woman chased after him, and to her shock, she saw the first living human she had encountered in 5 years. But the man was starving, and in desperation, he tried to kill her dog for food. Panicked, the woman ran home and grabbed her hunting rifle. Then she rushed back and pulled the trigger. Though she shot the man, her dog, the companion who had stayed with her through everything, still died. Heartbroken, she buried the dog with her own hands. But even then, her grief turned to rage. She dragged the man's body to the cliff and threw it over. Back at home, she picked up her pen and began writing about everything that had happened that day. That entry would be the final page of her journal.